All right, today we're going to go on a bit of a journey. We're going to explore one of the most powerful skills you could ever develop, becoming the author of your own life. We're going to break down how you can find and then totally rewrite the hidden story that's been guiding your every move.
So let me just ask you something right off the bat. Do you ever feel like there's some kind of invisible script running your life? You know, one that holds you back or keeps you stuck in the exact same patterns over and over again? It's a feeling a lot of us know all too well. So what is this invisible script, really? Well, it's what we call your inner narrative. Just think of it like this collection of unconscious stories you're always telling yourself. Stories about who you are, what you're capable of, and what's actually possible for you. See, our brains are just wired for stories, and this narrative, it becomes the lens through which you see your entire reality.
So our first stop is to really get a handle on this invisible script. And these aren't just, random thoughts. They're powerful, often hidden stories that dictate our actions, our choices, and the very limits we end up placing on ourselves.
Do any of these sound familiar? I'm not good enough. Or how about, I always fail when it matters? These are incredibly common limiting beliefs, lines from that script that can just quietly sabotage everything we're trying to do.
Okay, so if we're going to rewrite the story, we first have to read the old one, right? And that brings us to our next quest here, unmasking that old story and dragging those limiting beliefs out into the light.
And this is a fantastic roadmap for how to do it. First, just try journaling. Ask yourself, what's that one thought that always seems to stop me in my tracks? Second, trace the source. Where did this even come from? A childhood thing? A past failure? And third, listen to your body. You know that tight chest you get before a big presentation? That's your body literally highlighting a line from the script. Now, once you've identified that old script, something amazing happens. You're no longer just a character in the story. You actually get to become the architect. You get to pick up the pen yourself. And this is where it gets really empowering. Take a really powerful, self-defeating belief like this one. I always fail when it matters. Man, that kind of narrative can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But what happens when we decide to consciously change the words? Just look at this comparison. The shift from, I'm a failure, to, my effort is what truly matters. That's not just positive thinking. It completely reframes your entire experience. You are no longer defined by the outcome. And it's the same with, I can't do this. That becomes, I am learning how to handle this, which acknowledges the challenge but also affirms your ability to grow. It's a game changer. So what are the tools we can use to build this new narrative? Well, there are three really key ones. First, intentional language, just like we saw. Second, visualization. Actually spend time feeling what it's like to live out this new story. And third, create powerful and this is important, believable affirmations, things your mind can genuinely get on board with. Okay, a new story is great, but let's be real. Life is going to test it. And that brings us to our next part, building narrative resilience. This is all about turning your new story into a practical, powerful shield against life's challenges.
And the key skill for forging this shield is something called the reframe technique. It's all about intentionally shifting your perspective. So instead of seeing a setback as a total failure, you learn to see it as fuel for your future growth.
And here's a perfect example of how it works in the real world. You hit an obstacle, say a project fails. The old story kicks in. See, this just proves I always fail. But with the reframe technique, you consciously shift to, okay, this taught me I need to improve my planning skills for next time. You see the difference? One's a dead end, the other is a lesson. And to keep this resilience really strong, you can build it up with simple daily habits. Practicing gratitude, taking a moment to connect with your core values, surrounding yourself with people who actually support you. These small acts reinforce that shield every single day. Which brings us to our final and honestly most important stage. Because it's not enough to just write the story, you have to live it. This is where you start to integrate your new narrative into your career, your relationships, your personal growth, everything. And you know what you'll find? Your story creates a ripple effect. As you start to change your inner world and operate with more confidence and resilience, it positively impacts everyone around you. Your strength can actually give other people permission to be strong too. It's pretty amazing. So the crucial takeaway is this. By taking control of that invisible script, you stop being a passenger, just along for the ride in your own life. You become the author, consciously and intentionally crafting a meaningful existence. So I'll leave you with this question. If you were to pick up the pen right now,
what's the very first line you would write in your news story? Thanks for tuning in.